All right. We are going to start off today with those big old arm circles, big circles, full ranges of motion. Make sure at the top we are spreading your fingers. Really try to warm up the shoulders. Let's do one more each side. Then take those arms in the opposite direction. Big, full ranges of motion. I come up on my toes a little bit so I can really get that full range of motion. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Oops. And exhale out through the mouth. Stop your arms at shoulder height. When your arms are at shoulder height, the palms are facing the floor, and then we will make small circles in one direction. And the opposite direction. And release. Let's bring the arms overhead. Really reach. So we want to reach all the way from the fingertips all the way down the side of the body and up on that toe of the same side. And then opposite side here. Really reach across and feel this stretch all the way down the side of your body. And then let's twist through that torso, reach across the body, twist and reach. We want to move the hips, pivot on that toe. One more each side. And roll the shoulders back. And then let's take it forward. Bring the shoulders forward. And let's bring the shoulders up and squeeze, shrug. And exhale, release all the way down. And up and squeeze. And drop them down. Keep on going. Last one. I can never stay in one spot. I'm always moving. You can stay in one spot if you want. And exhale. Let's swing the arms forward and back. A little soft bend in the knee. Then bring those arms out to the side, palms facing forward. Give yourself a hug. One arm comes on top. Then open up the chest, shoulders down, and then give yourself a hug. The opposite arm is on top. One more each side. Now bring those arms out to the front and circle your wrists in one direction. And the opposite direction. And release. Heels to the front. So soft bend in the knee. Let's bring that right heel forward and then the left. Now when you bring that heel forward, make sure you're pressing through the heel of that opposite leg. And we want to push the butt back. So we don't want to rock forward and come on the toes. We want to press through the heel of that stationary leg. So you're pressing your butt back as you place that opposite heel down in front of you. One more each side. Now let's take the toes and tap back. So that stationary leg will stay nice and straight. So my left ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear will stay straight as we tap that opposite foot back. So we're squeezing the butt. We're not moving back. We're trying to stabilize on that standing leg. Keeping that core tight, pull the belly button towards the spine. Let's do one more each side. Now we are going to stabilize on that left foot, soft natural bend in the left knee, heel and toe on the right. So bring the right foot forward, right toes back, forward, and back. Abdomen is nice and tight. Focus on your posture. Shoulders are down and back. Even though we're bending that standing leg a little bit, we're still upright, nice and tall. Last one, other side. So now let's stabilize here on that right foot, soft natural bend in that right knee, heel and toe on the left. And release. You can kick it out. Let's take 2 steps to your left, to your right. So 2 to the right and 2 to the left. 2 to the right and 2 to the left. So things we need to focus on, we want to make sure that we are stepping out and that we are opening up the hips here, that your feet stay parallel. Try to stay on one plane. So we don't want to turn and walk this way with that quad forward. We want to have the side of that body, so the abductors leading, IT band. Now, if you have the legs, we're going to add the arms. Bring the arms up, Now remember, the higher the arms, the higher the heart rate. So if we want to get the heart rate up, we can pick it up a little bit, really swing those arms up. But if that's not our goal today, then we can bring it lower and keep the arms lower. Whatever is appropriate for you. Now we're going to come up on those toes, so 10 calf raises. Up and down, up and down. And release. Now we are going to open up that stance, hands behind your head, and abdomen is nice and tight, soft bend in the knee. We are going to push your butt back right into that good morning. So we want to keep a relatively flat back as we come down and then back on up. When we come up, we want to squeeze the butt. So let's do about 10 good mornings. We should feel this down the low back, the glutes, and the hamstrings. Wake them all up, take your time. The arms are up, the hands are up behind the head, so the shoulders are open. We don't want to round that back. We want to keep the shoulders open as we push the hips back. Now everybody's range of motion is different. If you feel tightness, you might not come down as low as I do, or if you are very flexible, you might come down lower than I come down. The key is we want to maintain that nice flat back and that soft natural bend in the knee. I'd rather you go slower and really feel this stretch. We don't want to go too fast with this exercise anyway, because then we might get dizzy changing levels too fast. So make sure you're going nice and slow. I said 10-ish, but I have no idea what number I'm on. So let's go for 2 more. And we're going to make our way over to a wall or a chair or pole or whatever you have that you can stabilize on. So I'm going to hold on to this chair. We're going to move that hip. We're going to wake up that hip a little bit. So holding on with one hand. I'd like you to hold on to the wall or the pole, or I'm going to hold on to the back of the chair. I would like you to stabilize on that left foot. So stabilize on the foot. The toes are down. You can spread your toes. You have a soft, natural bend in that left knee. We have a straight line from your left ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. Abdomen is tight. Now we are going to take that right leg and swing forward and then back. Forward and back. So what I'd like you to focus on, I'm not moving forward and back. I'm not swinging my body. I'm staying upright and just in through the hip and squeeze the glute as you come back. We're going to do about 10 per side. Keep that core nice and tight. Shoulders are down and back. And this is not a balance exercise per se. I really want to get the mobility through the hip. So I'd rather you hold on for this exercise. We'll do some more balance exercises after. When you finish one side, you can spin around for the opposite side. You can either actually physically turn around, or I'm just switching to my opposite leg. When you finish 10, we are going to go through those exercises again. So we started off with those calf raises. So let's do 10 calf raises. Abdomen is nice and tight. Now this time, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can change the angle of your toes. So I'm going to turn my toes out ever so slightly, and I'm coming up and then back down for 10. When you finish 10 calf raises, we are going to go back into those 10 good mornings. I'll try to count a little bit better this time. Now, focus on your body, pay attention. I'd rather you, like I was saying, if you can only get 4 in the time I do 10, I'd rather you keep it slow and do less than speed it up and try to do more for this exercise. So chest is up, shoulders back, hands behind your head, a soft natural bend in the knee, hips away as you come down with that nice flat back. Make sure we're not rounding that back. Pull the belly button to spine. Feel the stretch down the low back, down the hamstrings. Make sure when you come up, you're squeezing the butt cheeks. When you finish with your 10 good mornings, we're going to go right into those leg swings. So again, when you're ready, stabilize on one leg, keep that core nice and tight, 10 on each side. You might notice that this time through, you have a little bit more range of motion, but I still want you to focus on keeping that nice straight line from your ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. And we don't want to arch the back when you bring the leg back. We want to maintain that strong pelvic tilt. And that was 10. So pubic bone up towards your heart, and try not to arch that back. When you finish 10 on each side, you can grab some water. We're going to come down to the floor. We will come back on up, but I want to hit the floor for a little bit first. So if you want to have a quick sip before we come down, please do so. We're going to come on down on your back. So on your back, we're going to come on down on the floor for your bridge. We're going to start off with just that basic bridge. We're going to start off with your feet parallel. So you can sit up and look at your toes, make sure the feet are parallel, make sure one's not turned out and one's turned in, or just make sure the feet are relatively similar. You want to make sure that they're on the same plane, so you don't want one foot farther forward than the other. Then we can sit on back. Have that nice strong pelvic tilt. Press that low back down to the floor. Abdomen is tight. We are going to lift the hips up into that bridge. Make sure we don't arch. Pelvic tilt so that pubic bone stays up towards the heart. Squeeze the booty at the top. And then let's slowly come back on down. So we're going to do 10, please. Exhale up and squeeze. Then in exhale up, inhale down. Don't focus too much on breathing, but it's important that you don't hold your breath. So just make sure that you keep breathing. A lot of times if we start working too hard, a natural reaction is to hold your breath. So we want to make sure that we just keep breathing. When you finish 10, you can release and just drop the knees from right to left. Take a second here. Now we're going to pause in the center. Take that right knee, pull the right knee in towards your chest, and then big circles in one direction with your foot. Same foot, opposite direction. And release, same thing with the opposite side. So pull the left knee in, hug the left knee in, big circles with that left foot in one direction. Try to make a circle on the ceiling or with that toe. Same foot, opposite direction. When you finish, you can return both feet down to the floor. And now I want a nice wide stance. So wider than the first bridge. Now it's important, when you have wider feet, you also want the knees to be wider. So you don't want the knees to come in and feet to come out. We want to make sure that you still have that straight line from the ankle to the knee. And then we are going to lift up into that bridge. So nice strong pelvic tilt, abdomen is tight. Exhale, lift up into a bridge, squeeze the booty at the top with wide feet. Make sure the knees are the same distance apart as the ankles. Then slowly come back on down. You'll feel this a little bit more in the glutes. We're going for 10 here as well. When you finish 10, you can release, keep your feet nice and wide, and then just drop the knees to the right and to the left again. And back to center. Bring your feet back into that normal bridge position so they're not too far, not too wide. Then we're going to hold that pelvic tilt, lift your hips up into a bridge, and we are either going to hold this static hold bridge here, or a little harder, march your knees. Now, if you are marching, it is important that we go nice and slow. We want to control the up as we bring the foot back down to the floor. So nice and slow. Let's do one more per side. And release on down. You can take both knees, hug them in, just rock side to side. And from here, we are going to roll over to your left side for your clamshells. So on the left, we are going to bend your knees, the feet are stacked, abdomen is nice and tight, the hips are square, the shoulders are square, so we're not rocking back. We want to stay up, upright, keeping the hips and shoulders square. And the only thing that's moving, we're moving from the hips. So we are lifting that right knee up and then come back on down. We're going to do 10. Then stay on this side when you finish your 10. When you finish 10, I'd like you to please extend both legs long, flex the feet. So we have a nice straight line with the body. Abdomen is tight, hips are square, shoulders are square, flex the feet. Then we are going to do 10 leg lifts. So we want to make sure that we're pressing up through the heel. Even turn those toes down a bit. That way the toes won't be pointed up towards the ceiling. We're going for 10. When you finish 10, you can roll on over to your right side, and we'll do both of those exercises on the right. So 10 clamshells and 10 leg lifts. Focus on that perfect form. Abdomen is tight. Remember, we're not rocking our body back. Oops. When you finish with your 10 clamshells, you can extend both legs long, same thing, and then that leg lift, flex the foot, turn the toes down slightly. When you finish, you can push back into your child's pose, butt over heels, and walk those hands far forward. Tabletop position, hands and knees. let's go into that cat-cow. So tuck your chin, tuck the tail, round the back. Then lift your chin, lift the tail, and sway. We want to get as much flexion in the spine that we can. Arms stay long the whole time. And release. We are going to take that left leg out to the side for 10 hydrants on the left. Make sure your wrist is in line with shoulder, knees in line with hips, abdomen is tight. Tuck the toes, and then we're going to bring that knee out to the side and down. 10 on the left, 10 on the right. When you finish one side, you can go right into the other side. When you finish 10 on both sides, you can release, push back into child's pose. And when you're ready, you can take your time. Make your way back up to standing. Come on up to your feet. Grab some water. Make sure you hydrate. Now we are going to go into your squats. So if you have a chair or bench or something that you can sit on that's about 90 degree angle behind the knees, you can grab that. If not, you can just do that basic air squat. So we're going to pay attention to your body, see how many you feel comfortable doing. We're going to do a few sets, so I'd rather you do less here, that way you can keep going throughout the whole sequence. So we're going to start off sitting down. We want about a 90 degree angle behind the knees, so we don't want the feet too far back. We want to make sure that we're pressing through the heels. Then we're going to stand up, squeeze the butt, and then come back on down. When we come down, we're pushing the booty back. So 5 to 10, depending on how you're feeling. That form is key. Make sure you have a little external rotation on the knees. And if you're not using a chair, you can do the same thing without it. Same position, just push your butt back. When you finish 5 to 10, we're just gonna do that step touch with your arms. Add step touch first. Then when you have it, we're going to add the arms, and we're just gonna come forward and back. 2 times, so forward and back, 2 times with that step touch. Watch out for all the stuff. After we do that step touch forward and back, we are going to take your grapevine 2 times side to side. So now we are going to, instead of that step touch, we are going to take your leg in front, center, then behind, center, then the opposite direction. When you finish that, we are going to do the whole thing 2 more times. So be mindful of how the legs are feeling, the knees. We're going to do about 5 to 10 more squats, depending on how you're feeling. Or sit to stands if we're using a chair. Chest is up, butt goes back, down, and up. Again, if you don't have a chair, you don't need one. Listen to your body. Try to pay attention to that range of motion. Make sure the knees go in the direction of the toes. Make sure when you sit down, we're not taking a load off and then getting back up, right? I'm keeping that tension in my leg, barely sitting, then coming back on up. I don't know what number I'm on, 8-ish. Let's do 2 more. Then we're going to come forward and back with that side step 2 times. Get the arms moving. When we complete that 2 times, we're going to grapevine it over and back 2 times. And 1 last time through. So last time with the squats, give it your all. Do however many you feel comfortable doing. So give it your max amount, but max amount with perfect form, okay? So this is the last time. Chest is up, butt goes back. Last time, weight is pressed through the heels, but keep the toes down, booty goes back. A little external rotation on the knees. Chest is up, make sure, lay on the floor, make sure we don't lean forward. Eyes are forward, look straight ahead. When you finish with the sit to stands or the squats, we're gonna go back into that forward and back, lateral steps with the arms. Two times here. When you finish 2 times forward and back, we are going to do that grapevine 2 times, side to side. And when you do finish, you can grab a quick sip of water and find a wall or back a chair, a pole, or something to balance on. So just grab a quick sip of water. When you're finished, finish up. Now when we balance, we are going to I'm going to stabilize on that left foot. A soft, natural bend in the left knee. Abdomen is tight. I'm going to lift that right knee up. And when I'm feeling steady, I can take my hand away from the chair. So when you're ready, you can balance here. And from here, to make it harder, you can either close your eyes or look right and left. You can release. Kick it on out. Same thing on the opposite side. So make sure you get that form first. Focus on that midsection. Squeeze the belly button. Soft bend in that right knee or opposite knee. When you have your balance, take the hand off of the chair or the wall and either close your eyes or take your head and look right and left. And release. You can kick it on out. We're going to make our way back on down to the floor. So we're going to come on down for your plank. We're going to stay on the floor. So if you do want to keep your water bottle next to you, you can bring it down on the floor. So we're going to stay on the floor. We're going to start off with that 30-second slow plank. So that low plank, we want to talk about forearms are parallel, elbows are in line with shoulders. We're going to come up on the toes. Now a little bit of a wider stance is easier. So if you have to start off wider, that's okay. But the goal is to bring it in and we want our feet about hip width distance apart. We are going to come up with a nice flat back in 3, 2, 1, come on up. Now, when we're up, it's important that our booties aren't in the air. We want to tuck the tail and make sure that we have that strong pelvic tilt. Drive the elbows towards the toes. Make sure you keep breathing. You want to relax the shoulders away from ears. We have 10 more seconds. And release. You can push back into child's pose. Then we are going to come on up for that bird dog. So hands and knees. Core is tight. Pull the belly button up towards your spine. Today we're going to start with your left arm. So left arm is forward. Right leg is back. Static hold. Now make sure we're not arching the back and lifting the booty up. We want to tuck the tail, right? Have that flat back, pelvic tilt. 30 seconds of that isometric static hold per side. Let's begin. Left arm forward, right leg back. Make sure that arm that's down, so that right wrist is in line with your right shoulder. Five seconds, then we will switch right away to the other side. 2, 1, and switch. Other side right away. Five, 4, 3, and release. Push back into child's pose. We are going to do the bird dogs one more time. 30 seconds aside. We will now either do that hold, the isometric hold again, or we can go into that dynamic bird dog. So I will show you. 30 seconds aside, then we will switch over to our back. So left arm, right leg, let's hold. So again, we're holding here, a nice flat back, pelvic tilt, press out through that right heel, reach out through the fingertips. You can't really see my fingertips, and hold. Now, we can bring the elbow and knee into center, and then extend long. I'll be by your side. We stay together through stormy weather, and whatever happens, I'll be by your side. And release right away, opposite side. So again, hold first, and then if you have the movement, if you're comfortable, then you can go into that dynamic. And release. Push back into child's pose. Relax here. When you are ready, we can roll on over to your back for the last working exercise of today, that dying bug. So a nice strong pelvic tilt. Arms are up, legs are up. Flex the feet. Make sure when you bring the legs up, we're not arching the back. We don't want that space. We want to press the low back down. That helps, that moves the pubic bone up towards the heart, so the low back's down, which then takes the pressure out of your hip flexors. So we don't want to work the hip flexors, we want to work the core, the abdomen. So hold that pelvic tilt. Arms are up, legs are up. Opposite leg comes down, then the opposite. Heel to the floor, squeeze the midsection. We're shooting for about 10 per side. When you finish 10 per side, you can pull both knees in towards the chest, rock side to side. You can relax. Return your feet down to the floor. Arms come out at shoulder height. Drop the knees over to the right, head to the left. Take a couple deep breaths in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Feel this stretch through the midsection. Make sure both shoulders remain on the floor. Then bring the knees over to the left, head goes to the right. Back to center. Take your right ankle, place it on top of left knee. You can push that right knee away from the body, or reach behind that left knee, pull the left knee in towards your chest. And release. opposite side. So uncross, take that left ankle, place it on top of right knee. You can push that left knee away from the body, or reach behind the right knee, pull that right knee in. And release, uncross, roll on over to your left side. On the left, make a straight line with your body first, then reach for that right ankle, pull the right heel back towards your butt for your quadricep stretch. Release, opposite side, roll on over to the right. Legs long first. Then when you're in that nice straight line, you can reach for that left ankle, pull the left heel back towards your butt. And release, roll forward, and then child's pose. So push your butt back over your heels. Walk your hands out as far forward as you can, but we want to keep the butt down. From here, take your hands, bring them to the left, nice and long. Your head stays between the arms. Then press your right hand firmly down on the ground. Same thing to the right. Take your hands, bring them over to the right. Walk them forward. Head is between the arms. Then take that left hand and firmly plant it down on the ground. Back to center. Then your tabletop position, tuck the toes back to that cat-cow. So arch and sway. We want to get as much flexion in the spine that we can. Come down flat on your stomach. From here, bring your elbows back next to the chest. Hips stay attached to the floor. Lift your chest up. And release down. You can push back into child's pose again and hold. And when you're ready, you can come on up, sit up, and extend both legs long. So sit on your butt. Your hands can be behind you. Extend both legs long. I have pet hair all over my legs. I don't know if anybody else does. From here, flex your feet. So we want to keep the legs down. So try to keep the knees down. You don't want to bend the knees. And if you can, try to walk your hands forward and then walk them over and try to reach towards the toes. And release. Now bring the bottoms of the feet together. Pull the heels in towards your body. Try to get the knees down to the floor. Chest is up. And you can release. Take your time, make your way all the way up to standing. Come up to your feet. You just adjust the screen, come all the way up. From here, we are going to stand up nice and tall. Just roll the shoulders back. Clasp your hands in front of your chest, round the back. Drop the chin. Then bring the hands all the way up. And release. Take that left arm, bring it long. Bring that straight left arm across the body so it's straight. Then we're going to take that right arm, bring it underneath and pull it in. So we want to feel this in the back of the shoulders. Release, other side. And release, roll the shoulders back. Take your head and look to the left. And then to the right. Back and forth. Center. Drop your left ear to the left shoulder. If you need to increase the stretch, you can take your left hand and pull down slightly on the right side of the head. Make sure that right shoulder is down. Release, opposite side. Release, roll the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. 2 more. Last one. Good job, everybody. Have a fabulous Tuesday. It's Tuesday today. Let me get in here.